See, everybody's talking about it, but nobody's talking about it. That's why I got to talk about it. Drake, Kendrick, beefing. What does it mean for you? What does it mean for me? What does it mean for the world? Absolutely nothing. Probably more than likely not going to be anything significant. And let me explain to you guys something what distractions do to you in life. See, in life, there's a constant struggle of you trying to achieve the best version of yourself. Every day you got to get out, put your pit boy pants on, put your shoes on, put your shirt on, walk out in the world and figure out what you're going to do with your life. That's hard. It's really hard. And what the internet has gifted most of us is the ability to sit behind a screen and pay attention to shit like Drake and Kendrick beefing, somebody calling somebody a pedo, somebody saying Kendrick's wife got tore up by the bodyguard, and so forth and so forth. And how does that advance your life? How does that make you better? Are you making YouTube videos about it? No, you're not making YouTube videos about it, are you? No, probably not. You're sitting at home, doom scrolling, mad, not living life, and not maximizing the most out of your potential. And you know what? That's going to cost you in the future. And in this particular future we got coming forth in the great year of 2030 and the great crash out, you can't afford that, brother. You cannot afford the ability to sit there and doom scroll and pay attention to Kendrick Drake beef. I saw it for about half a second on the Twitter machine and the TikTok machine. And I said, what's going on here? We got rappers beefing. And here's the thing that I have a problem with beef. You go back and watch my last video about the Kendrick's, or did Drake end your favorite rapper's career? I spoke about how beef is kind of stupid if it doesn't resolve in some type of violence. And when I say violence, we can do controlled violence. We don't have to shoot at people. I think shooting is a coward way out. But put these two guys in a ring. Why can't we get a celebrity boxing match? That would be some great way to make a lot of money. Because at this day and age, when everybody's broke and everybody's tired and stressed out, you know what we love to watch more than anything else? People fighting. Violence brings us closer together. You ever been to a professional boxing match or MMA match? That's when you see the great unity of humanity. See, fighting does something for people's spirits. Fighting is it's a universal language amongst all people that we can all understand what is going on when we're watching that. And that's really what the essence of fighting is. That's why it's the greatest known competition known to man. Like, you'd be watching the NBA Finals. I can promise you, you'd be watching the NBA Finals. It'd be the last minute. And Djokovic is going against, I don't know who else is in there. OKC or somebody. I don't know. I don't pay attention to basketball. And you can see a fight break out in the stands. And you know what you're going to turn your attention to? The fight in the stands. You know why? Because fighting is easy to understand. Two men throwing fisticuffs at each other, trying to hurt each other. It's simple. It requires no explanation, barely any rules, and all people can rejoice in their drunken stupor because fighting is universal to all people. That's what brings us closer together. We need a fight. We almost need a war. And that sounds terrible, but to some degree, we need a war. I think a lot of young men are actually itching for a war. Now, we don't want to go fight a war. And once again, I'm not promoting war. War is horrifying. War is horror. And only the people who live through war can tell you the true horrors. Everything else is just a description and a vivid storytelling method of the war. But what war does is it brings out the best in man, brings out the worst and the best. You see the honorableness in man, you see the evilness in men, and it helps us recognize what we truly are, which are just animals, just violent animals. And that's why I say that's what we need to be able to make this Drake and Kendrick thing bring us close together. We need to watch them fight. Now, I don't know what the weight discrepancy is. I know Kendrick is quite small. I don't know if Drake is capable of cutting weight. He might have some complications due to the BBL and the abs he got fake. But, hell, let's see it happen. They're two amateurs. We know Drake's been in the room. We've seen some boxing footage of him. And Kendrick, I'm pretty sure he's from the streets. He has hands, I hope. Or you can call, whatever his name is, that other guy, L-Dog, to come help it out. But I want to see some fighting. I want to see some scrapping. Why are you dancing back there? Okay. Okay. She wants to walk down and sit down. So I'm going to pause for her so she can walk down and sit down. Go ahead. Yeah. No. Okay. But anyway, besides the distraction of Mrs. Apex. Mrs. Apex, she loves violence too. And I love violence. And me and her want to get closer together by watching the violence of Kendrick Lamar and Drake go at each other. And if we have to talk the real, oh my gosh, she put an egg in some rice. A raw egg and rice, people. This is once again, I got to introduce you guys to the new character in my life. This is Mrs. Apex. So she'll be making little interludes and running around and saying hello and talking to me on the side because she likes watching these YouTube videos. But besides the point, we have to see scraps. Scrapping makes men great again. That's why I always have this method of throwing hands for cash. If somebody's bugging you or they're talking mess about you, talking crazy, and you're fed up and you're ready for it to be done, you know what you do? Sir, I challenge you to fisticuffs for cash. It could be $1, $5, or $100, whatever you got to put down. You guys bet some money. You get your fighting license, which is not that difficult. You get an amateur fighting license for less than $25. You just gotta get some blood work. Go talk to a promoter because they'll be happy to put on fights. They're always looking to put on fights. So you got a great story to tell. That's even better. And you get on Instagram, you get on social media, you tell people you got to fight. You explain the story, why, who, where, why, when, and how. That you guys got to the point that you guys are now fighting with each other, and you scrap it out. And nobody dies, nobody gets shot. You just have the two good old fashioned scrap. You shake hands after you're done, and you go your separate ways. And you guys both feel better because you guys both got that anger out that has been resenting in both of you guys, well, accumulating and brewing in both of you guys. You guys get that out. And that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm taking from the whole beef with Kendrick and Drake is just scrap it out, man. Let's make scrapping great again.